Okay, back to our questions. So you told us so much things about your career, about your
Mhm.
stats you've been. Can you maybe summarize your teams and countries you played and coached for? Is that a little bit maybe just the countries? We did I did a bit of my research, so I know the list you've played and coached.
We'll say it this way: you can say the teams if you want. I'll do the countries as best I can. I'm trying to remember everything now. Let
You
me
can
think.
you can just tell us, or
Okay, United States is automatic. Canada, Mexico. Let's see. Denmark, Hungary, India, Austria, Italy, Brazil, um, Poland, Russia, Switzerland, Ghana, Norway, Germany, Australia. I said Mexico, so yeah, that's about right.
that's so crazy. That's so crazy. And this is, I think, for our audience, this is another interview where you can see where football can lead you all over the world to get in
Yes.
contact with all these cool new people, to get in contact with all these cultures, to learn things and just to develop yourself.
Yeah.
That's really cool, and I think that's a
Oh
really
shit.
great part to see for all these kids here who maybe have the dream to go to the
Mm-hmm.
US to play football. And this shows your story shows, or your story is another cool story to show them what is possible with American football.
Yeah, it is. Oh, forgot all that. Wait a minute. I hit every Nordic country, man. France. Oh, I am Romania. I'm just like, whoa, I forgot about them. Yeah. There were points where we were doing camps and we were doing camps all like hitting those countries that didn't get Serbia. We were hitting camps that nobody could hit because they were not getting a lot of I mean, they may have had football players like football there, but they were not getting the coaching. So we went there and coached a lot of places. So got Serbia, how is it? Montenegro, Serbia, all the Nordic countries. We had France. Uh, yeah, I forgot a couple of them too. I went through all the way through all the South American countries, Colombia all the way down. We were going straight down. So Colombia, Peru, all the way through. So we were hitting all those countries up as well. What I mean? There are a lot of countries that don't even have an opportunity. They don't even have equipment. They just play flag football. So we help them out, do it that. Even the countries I do some countries online just to help them out, just to get them going. Like the Ivory Coast. I've not personally been there, but I help coach them guys. Like, listen, this is all we have because they came to the Ghana camp that we had. So when they went back, they kept my telephone number, and what I would do is send them football drills and stuff to do to start setting up their team. And now they have a team that's fully set up. Just stuff like that. Like some teams just don't have it. You got some of the teams that are in Egypt. I helped some of those teams build up too as well. They just didn't have it. So you just all right, no, you guys need to be doing these drills. Here's a playbook if you guys can figure it out. Here's a playbook. I'll teach you how to do the playbook. Or that's when we were doing WhatsApp and whatever we could just to just get the conversation going. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff. I play for a lot of teams though. That's what's crazy though. I just never realized it. Like my last team played was 2019. I played my last game. Like I'm done. I can't play no more. Which I still want to play. We always say we don't want to play until you get out there. Then you're like, you know what? I just one more game. Just give me one more game. So that's basically all the countries. And fortunately, I got the opportunity to coach at all those countries, and I hit 6 continents. And I'm waiting for Elon Musk to do something crazy in Antarctica. Call me up. Let's play a flag football game there. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get one. Let the King Penguins watch us be the fans. Let's do this. So I can say I'm coached on every continent in the world.
So I'm sure everybody understands that.
Absolutely.
Our viewers at home, I'm sure you guys understand that.
Yeah.
So just going back to 2012, just to look at it as when Coach St. Lawrence hit me up, do you want to try to come to Poland and play? That was my first time out of the country. And like I said, you were one of the first people I contacted. Oh, Tony, what about
this? Yeah.
Okay, you've been around, everybody did our research. Oh, Tony Simmons coming. We thought another NFL player was coming, but he didn't end up coming.
Well, actually, we had two of them. We supposed to have three. We had two. Yeah. Remember the kicker? The kicker was there.
But like I said, you were mostly, kind of for us guys, the guys that were there. I thought I was going to be the oldest guy there. But you were the oldest guy there. So, and I kind of talked, after the game, had a chance to go to Germany. You told me, hey, take this opportunity because they don't come that often. And I didn't want to go back home.
Look where you at now. He never left.
So after that, I didn't look back. And, that was basically the story, just, having that confidence, to find something new. Mm-hmm. And, ever since then, everything is history now. So it's been a good ride, especially having a chance to see something different. So that was the big thing with me. So that was just kind of one of the things I would talk about the experience. So basically from the difference between America and Europe, how would you say culture-wise Europe is different from America?
Well, cultural-wise, it's, football is not law. Football is number one sport. It's not baseball anymore, it's football now. Being that it is, football is not law in Europe, which is nice. Plus, you get to do it you get to try to coach a mentality in a different country. Our American football mentality in a different country. It kind of works, but not really. Some of them get it, but not all of them. But when you think about it, it's okay to have American football in Germany. It don't have to be American football and it's American in Germany. No. We can blend. It can blend. Cultures can blend. Everybody, doesn't have to practice 5 days a week. Okay, that helps you become a better player, yes. But overall, being in Europe, it gave me an opportunity to learn about a culture that said, we do certain things a certain way, and we don't want a sport to really a new sport, especially American football. We don't want it to overtake our kids or whatever. And everybody thought football was this barbaric, sport. Like, oh, y'all just put on helmets and just run into each other. We was like, no, the object is not to get hit. I don't want to get hit. That's the whole thing. Nobody wants to really get hit. Some of y'all crazy enough that want to, but not all of us. The object is to move the ball down the field and not get hit. Some people want to run into each other. Hey, that's your choice. Me, no, keep it moving. But going into different cultures and stuff was fun because they're looking at football as like this barbaric sport. And we're teaching them like, nah, this is about, honor, respect, understanding, having sportsmanship for the opponents and stuff like that. Kicking their ass is a form of respect. Not I just beat your ass. It's a form of respect because that means I put my best against your best. I won this war. I won this battle today. But in the overall, we want to get a trophy. Whatever that trophy is for that country, whatever, that is the end of the war for that year. You get bragging rights for 1 year, and then you got to do it all over again. So it's fun to go to a country and they win it and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, we got to do it next year. You can't keep talking. You only get 1 year to talk. That's it. And then back at it again. Let's go. And you can be the top of the crop at the end of the season, but next year you're down at the bottom feed, trying to get back to the top. So it's a consistency, like we were talking about consistency. It's been consistent throughout the years, and hopefully with the pandemic that messed it all up, a lot of countries got screwed. Now you start seeing what countries couldn't, what football organizations, what countries that couldn't hold, if anything goes bad, they can't hold up and stand up. So, and that, that is unfortunate, but now I think some of these organizations are going to start taking some of these American coaches seriously. Like in your sense, you got an opportunity to stay. most of us wanted to stay. We can't. They won't keep us there. They just say, no, and I know you were there. You had the opportunity before you landed where you are, that one and done. You play one season. All right. Like, dude, I like it here. I want to stay. All right, gotta go. So you kicked out. You're like, I ain't do nothing wrong. I've won championships with teams and was not there the next year as a coach. Didn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, but I helped y'all win a champ. Okay. And you keep it moving. You don't have any time for all that. But, you know what I mean? It's just one of those opportunities. The culture is the culture is rich, and it's everything we learned about in the U.S. and now you get to experience. And now that you experience it, now some of the stuff that we were taught kind of don't make sense now, because now we're experiencing it versus learning it, And I would tell anybody, if you get a chance to travel somewhere, go travel. Go see it on your own. Don't be thinking like, oh, I know about that. No, go see it on your own, because I've seen a lot of stuff, and what we were taught in school versus what I experienced is totally different. And I mean, it's two different, it's always a different story. So I would rather have the story that I was there. I got to listen it through my ears and make my own judgments up about what this culture or that country is about. Because for me, I like European food. It's real food. Actually, real food. I know we mess with our food here. I'm not stupid. You got real food in Europe. You guys actually take higher how would you say, higher, just y'all more respectable when it comes to food. Y'all take it to the next level. Y'all make sure your food is real and this, that. You're not messing around with a lot of your food. You still have farmers and stuff like that. We're not doing all this. You guys are actually still doing basic stuff that should be basic for everyone, basic needs and stuff. People are being fed properly and stuff like that. When it comes to the language, I'm always struggling with languages, but you know what? I fight through them. German, I still understand some of it, but I fight to try to learn it. You know what I mean? Every language I've learned, I fight to learn through them. Like the only language that actually stuck with me was Italian. It stuck with me because I can hear it and I can still speak it properly, but I can't speak a lot no more because I don't speak it every day. And that's the thing about being in a different culture, especially being in the United States. You hear English 24/7. There is no other language. You might hear Spanish, but they still speak in English. You know what I mean? They speak in Spanglish. You know what I mean? It's like, what the? So that's the one thing about one of the biggest differences is language. Like I'm used to being over in Europe. I was over there for almost 11 years, back and forth to different countries. And when you're used to hearing different languages all the time, and then you go back to hearing just English, you like, I kind of miss that other piece that I'm not getting, because, I know one thing, every time I try to speak a language, they're like, oh, you're trying, you're good. You feel bad, like, yeah, I'm kind of learning the language, English. I'm like, I know English. That's my language, you know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I enjoy the fact that different cultures are enjoying a game that I grew up in, and they make it more fun because you're basically learning their culture, but you're inputting an American sport in their culture, and you're trying to develop it for them. You're not trying to bring the American football there. It's basically German football. It's not American football. It's German football. It just has an American twang to it because it's our sport. We're just teaching it, and y'all just pick it up as a culture. Italian football, you know what I mean? We're not saying it's Italian American football. No, it's Italian football. It's, we just taking the American part off now and then saying it's y'all football. This is your culture, because we can't, again, we don't say Canadian American football. It's CFL, Canadian football. They have their own rules, just as German, Italy, Ghana, Hungary. Everybody has their own rules because they have their little specific rules that work with that country. You know what I mean? And it's okay. You know what I mean? That's fine. I'm used to that. You get used to it after a while. Go ahead, translate that one. Nah.
Yeah, I will do. It will make.
That's when you do an overview. That's when you do an over talk of the translation. Like, I'm the overview.
Okay, um das ganz klar zusammenzufassen, was Toni natürlich aufgefallen ist, dass das Level von American Football in Europa überall ein anderes ist und dass es ganz viel um das Erklären von Mindsets geht, dass es ganz viel darum geht, so die Basics beizubringen und wirklich den einzelnen Ländern zu zeigen, das ist Football und das ist das, was ich euch beibringen kann, das ist das, was ich euch zeigen kann. Und jedes einzelne Land natürlich so ein bisschen spezifisch ist, was American Football angeht und es vielleicht der Grundsatz von American Football da ist, aber sich immer so ein bisschen anpasst. Und das natürlich auch gerade so coaching-technisch, was für Toni natürlich auch eigentlich so der interessanteste Part war, ist die Sprache. Die Sprache der einzelnen Nationen, die Sprache der einzelnen Länder. Und das ist das, was er letztendlich auch in den USA so ein bisschen vermisst, diese Sprachvielfalt zu haben, wenn man durch die Welt reist und versucht auch immer so ein bisschen so ein paar Sprachgruppen mitzubekommen und sich so ein bisschen dem Ganzen zu nähern, was so hier überall auf der Welt los ist. Vielleicht das als kleine Zusammenfassung. Ich glaube aber, dass ich bin mir sehr sicher, dass man den größten Teil verstanden hat. Okay, so for you traveling all over the world, what do you think which country or which countries are standing at the top when it comes to American football?
Well, right now, okay, I'll say it this way and then I'll put the other parts in there. No, it's just because it's how it is now, because things have changed now. Germany will always be at the top. They will be number one. Not because it's a German news, but it's Germany. It's GFL 1, GFL 2. They're the top two. Then you have AFL that's in the middle of there. They're AFL, so we say the AFL, Austrian Football League, they're about the same. They're right on the same level, GFL 2. Before the pandemic hit, it was France. France was coming hard. Them boys there's a lot of athletes over there, boy, and they just sitting there waiting. So that was always France was there. You go from there. I would say a lot of people don't even realize, but the X League from Japan, them boys playing. They play a lot of ball over there. So that's that. China's coming up as well. Thinking about some of the leagues that, like, European-wise, Italian football will always be there because they were like a namesake because playing for pizza, because of that book, Playing for Pizza. They will always have that namesake. Hungary came out of the bowels of nowhere. They just came out then they started building their leagues. And that was Hungary's biggest thing. They came up with building leagues and stuff that they had, and that made it better. Let's see, Italy, everybody else, France, Portugal, Spain has always been there. Spain needs to really figure out something because they just been on the bottom, but they've been there. They had it already. Amsterdam has disappeared. Belgium disappeared as well. You know what I mean? You got like this. One countries that are really starting to step it up, Mexico, they stepping it up. Now they got a double league. They have 2 professional leagues going on there with the LFA, and then they have the FAM League, and then you have Brazil, which is an untapped source for a lot of people, and they just don't realize it. Mm-hmm. That's an untapped source of athletes. Turkey stepped it up as well. So overall, if you want to look at it, you'll go Germany, GFL, and AFL right at the top. GFL 2 is under that one, but let's go from there. I would say France will go 3, but they haven't played ball in 2 years, so we got to figure out what's their whole situation. But if I had to go from there, being third will be a good third would probably be, actually I want to say Sweden. They're in there. The Super. They got it. Super will be third. If I had to hit the 4th, Italian League will always be there. They just in there. They're always in the top 5. And then, like I said, I always go with the one obscure one. I honestly believe a lot of these Japanese players, they're going to start coming to Europe. They want to test their might out now because they've been playing in Japan for so long and they've been kind of secluded from everybody. Yeah. Now you get the one. I just saw the signing for the guy at the Istanbul Rams, the Japanese receiver.
Yeah.
He contacted me, and I remember he contacted me, and I was like, okay, I don't know, whatever. They want to step out. The best thing ever is I understand winning inside your country is great. But the reason why we play football is to play across state lines. It's Chicago. It's Illinois versus Indiana. Illinois versus Wisconsin, Minnesota. It's the step out that line. That's what college football is to us. We get to play across state lines. Because when you're in high school, you might never play outside your city. You might play some school down the state and all that stuff. That's why we call it going downstate. You know, you go to state and you play a school that you would never play. But the whole thing is, the whole reason to play in Germany is to play against Austria once in a while. Play a team over there once in a while. As a practice game, it don't even matter. That's why you have a lot of teams in the NFL. They play other tems in the NFL, but they play them in a different country. It just gives it a different feel. It gives it something different, like you're playing somebody else, like somebody totally out of the norm. And that's what makes it fun. That's why I call it international football. It ain't just because it's in Germany. You got to play somebody else. Play another team. Like just play them just to have another team. Like you got, okay, Switzerland. They sitting in the 3. They have the rim of the 3. Italy, Switzerland, Germany. They don't play each other. They rarely play each other. I'm like, dude, y'all should be playing each other. Like that is like a league in itself. But they don't play each other like that. You got the CFL that made it better. CEFL is the one that the Hungarian league that made it better. They spread it out outside the Central European. That's all it is, Central European. Play. That's the whole reason to play. Like if you have a team, you want to play that team that y'all got the good thing. Okay, when I was in Norway, the head coach there, Mike, what he did was they always played a starter game or whatever game. They played it against a team in Sweden. Always. Since he was there, he always wanted to play against the same team. So we played the 2 champions. We play them and have fun. You know what I mean? We have a fun game. It's like, it's that game of, I don't know if you've done this before when you're in college, when you played another team as in camp, y'all just played another team. Yeah. It could be, but y'all there to learn from each other. You don't ever play that team in during the season, but you there to learn. Like we did in the NFL. We played against the New York Giants and we would have a practice game with them. We would be playing them at the end of the week, but we practice with them the whole week. And you guys are learning from each other and stuff like that. And they're giving clinics to other coaches that come to watch the game, watch us practice together. And we got to learn how to practice together and stuff. It's a sportsman's thing too, but you're going to have your fights because we're going to be playing each other at the end of the week anyway. But what it does is this, it teaches people that you can play against another team and still have respect for them. You can have respect for them, but I don't mean you got to like them, but I got to respect it. You know what I mean? Because they are a team. They're a good team. Yeah. And that's the reason, like, every time I went to a team, I love playing over the country line. Or in that case, your guys are like, it may be Europe, but it's like the States. You're just playing in a different country and they just speak a different language. It's okay. It's all right. It's the same thing to me. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things I loved about that. I love that because that's the opportunity. That is what you're there for. That's what it's there for. It's the Olympics just done in football style. Get to play across the country lines. And now we get to see how good you can really fare against us. So we're German. We German tough. What's up? Y'all playing against the Italians. Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens after this 60 minutes of this football game. We'll see what happens. Or 45 minutes. We'll see what happens. And then after that, you raise a trophy. And that's why we have all those championships now. That's why we have those, now we don't have it anymore as much, but IFAF, EFAF, all that stuff. That's what those championships are for. You know what I mean? That's the whole reason to play football, play a sport, to put your best against someone else. Not just across town, but across that line that you don't know how they play. You don't know what they do over there. You don't know how they train. You just know if I play my best and we win, the country wins. You know what I mean? It's not just myself, the country wins. So, and that's the good thing about that.
So more thinking outside the box.
Yeah, that's the whole, you know what? Football is what it is. It's a game. That's all it is. It's still a game, but we have to make it. If you just play German football and all y'all did was just play German teams, you'd be bored because eventually you're going to play every single team. And then you like this.
Yeah.
But then you hear about this team in another country, they putting up 70, 80 points a game. Ooh, I want to play them. I want to play them. Like you want to see if they ain't going to score 80 on us. You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. that's when that defensive mind comes in and someone want to play offensive mind. Now you're starting to see, how does this work? How can we actually stop them? Like, these boys playing good, you know what I mean? It's that back and forth. It's like, I would say most people think when you're playing football, it's like checkers. Football is chess. Ain't nothing but a chess match. It's the head coach sitting there moving his pieces. He put them in play because he's setting up stuff. He's just setting it up for the big play. That's all. You're going to set it up. We scorch them. Or you got that one player, that one piece on the board that can just take it all, like the queen. She just takes it all. She can take it all. You might have a player just sitting there, or you might have 2 or 3 players like that, and they just don't know it. You might have a whole bunch of them, because remember, in football, it's not that one player can take over a game. It's a team effort, but one player can make a game, make a difference in a game big time. Just one play. One player and one play can change the game. And that's it. So there you go. Hey, we just saw it happen in Chicago. Terrible. We just saw, I don't know if y'all knew about this, but the head coach for Chicago Bears is going to get fired. He was supposed to get fired, supposedly, if he lost the Thursday game, which was the Thanksgiving game against Detroit. It was 14-13. Bears are down. Last 2 minutes of the game. For some odd reason, he got his job still, because they ended up playing 16-14. Last 2 minutes of the game, somebody won the ball. And when my brother, he was watching the game, he turned off the game because it was 2 minutes and 42 seconds on the game, and Detroit was going down the field. We come back, and my brother's like, yeah. I said, no, he got his job. He said, what? I said, the Bears won. He said, what? 14. They won. See? Game of football.
Yeah.
You play what is it? Bears, the game before that. They play Sunday, the game before that. They played a team. They kept Baltimore Ravens out the end zone for 59 minutes and 38 seconds and lost the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, without Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Without Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and that's like this. Yeesh. You know what I mean? Like this. You lose the game at the last second. You can't lose games like that. Yeah. You know. And then, then the next game they win it. And remember, you don't know anything about Detroit has lost every single game.
Oh yeah.
And they're about to win their first game. That would have been terrible. Like, we lose this game, bro, you are fired. There's hell no we lose to this team. And you was that close to losing? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
That's scary, man. Like, your job is in the line. And I know he was in there like, no, I don't want no distractions, man. I know he's like, man, come on, man. Man, come on, man. I can't lose this job. I don't want to go back out there, bro. So, yeah. But nah, that's what football to me is, man. It's about bringing other cultures together and actually playing something. And basically, like, our form of the Olympics. That's all. It's our form of it. Hopefully, football will be an Olympic sport soon. Hey, we've always been there, and it's just like football jumped in. Flag football got it. If flag football can get it, football, I think we could. But flag football is less money. You know what I mean? But it is. If I play flag football, I still love it. I still love flag football. That's how I all started. I started in grade school playing football, flag football.
Okay, I think everybody understands what you're saying.
No, they just saying.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, to our last and final question, basically we're talking about our future goals and plans. So, basically now, what does the future hold for you? Basically, are you doing anything, new coaching, things like this?
Well, my future holds so far as of next year, I will be with the Rossoff Panthers. So that will be cool. You know what I mean? The ELF. So that's amazing. I got an opportunity to come there. And from that point on, we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can put another 10 years of, playing or coaching football. And actually this time I wish I can get an opportunity like you feel. You got a good job, you know what I'm saying? You got where you want to be, but it would be nice to just be able to just plant down somewhere over there and just really get into it and start really coaching guys and getting them opportunities, maybe make a pipeline from Europe or wherever I'm at, from Europe back to the United States, so guys get an opportunity to play some high school football and get a chance to go from there. You know what I mean? Get them some extra coaching, some 24/7 mentality coaching versus, you know what I mean? You can get them to the first point, but they need to go to the next level and let the high school coaches over here take care of the rest and get them pushed on to colleges and let them see if they can get their opportunity. You know what I mean? Everybody has a chance. We have enough leagues now that's going on in the United States that we could help some of these guys actually understand what it takes to be a professional athlete. Because there are guys who are getting opportunities for it, but it would be nice to have maybe a guy that I coach that he finally moves on and he goes to the professional level and be like, man, I remember when I first started back in so-and-so country and my coach was Coach Tony, and then he helped me. He said he saw something in me, sent me to a high school over there. High school took over, and then I went from there. You know, that's kind of nice. That's like that teacher that you teach them something, but you never know if they really picked it up. And then when they get older, they finally understood what you mean, and they finally get it. And then they give you a little accolade about it. Like, yeah, I remember Coach said that to me. Yeah, he was teaching me that stuff back in the day. You know what I mean? And I didn't get it then because I could care less. But now I understand what they were talking about, you know. And that's the type of stuff I want to do. I want to be able to stay over long enough to actually, I guess, build a team and build a dynasty, not just by wins and losses, but by building a community of football in the area that people say, you know, when you go there, man, it's nice. It's nice. They do it nice. They do it real nice. They put a good show on. They help the kids grow from male to female. They grow in football in different ways, teaching our kids, just teaching their kids about honor and respect and sportsmanship and stuff like that. But they out there kicking ass though too. So it's all good.
Cool. I wanted to go back also with you having maybe kids go to high school. What do you think about high school students that won't make college? Because there's only a small part of kids that actually graduate high school to go to college. They could come to Europe, play on a football team, and go to college for less the price. You know, the price here is cheap.
I actually tried to do that to one guy. Like, he's not college bound, and I was like, dude, go over to Europe, because he does. Knowing the rules that I do know, because I saw it, I was like, ooh, he won't count as an American. Ooh, you know what I mean? Like, that's my brain. My brain's like, he won't count as an American. He's just another player because he's only high school level. Yep. And they're like, oh, he doesn't. According to how the rules are, they say he basically wouldn't know enough football, so he doesn't count as an American. And I was like, what? Y'all stupid. I got a whole bunch of these guys over here they wanted to play college, but they couldn't because they just couldn't afford it, or they just was not at that level ready to play football. So they didn't even go to school. They just kind of just went to work, and that was it. And they just got good careers doing that. But there are guys, if that pipeline will open up, and that's a pipeline that has to be, remember, we're talking about American kids.
Yeah, 18, 19, yes.
You know what I mean? You're talking about American kids, 18, 19, all their lives they're told to go to college. You got to go somewhere. You got to learn a skill. You got to do something. And to get a kid that probably worked about a year, because the bad thing is they only can be probably 3 years out.
Yeah.
High school football. Because you're thinking 4 or 5, they ain't coming. They won't make enough money. Yeah. They don't look at it because they got to say, I have to make enough money. You know what I mean? Or be able to come to Europe and get a job that actually pay, which is something that as a team, they should start looking into. Like, is it possible to get a guy over here to study for school, but make sure he has to have a certain amount of money. You know what I mean? He has to be able to pay. He has to get paid for something, but he also has to go to school. Is that something that some organizations are willing to look into? I've looked into it. It can work, but the organization really has to be on board with that, because there are a lot of kids that's not going to make college football, but they want to do something. But that kid also has to understand you're 18 and you are about to leave the country on your own. Like, literally, you're gone. There's no more mama, daddy. No, dude, you gonna. So You're telling a high school kid at 18, 19 years old to be a grown-up in another country, that he doesn't know the language, that he's seeing just as much as men do. He's looking just as much. You know what I mean? He's still a kid. He's a student. So he's looking at things differently too. So can it happen? Yes. Will it happen? Yes. But in time, an organization has to take a shot on that, because I'm telling you, they mess around and get a couple of good football players, it's over. Somebody gonna find a pipeline. That's a pipeline. And I'll tell anybody. I'll tell y'all too. Anybody. I don't care who's listening. That's a pipeline. That is a pipeline. That is an untapped pipeline that no one has never tapped into, because they're scared. Because it's a lot of, you're telling the kid to go to Europe and become a football player, but be a student. Be a student. Whoa, wait a minute. Let me get that again. Be a student athlete somewhere else. I mean, not the NCAA. Let's go overseas. Let's go see what you can do and pay half the cost for college. I mean, instead of paying $100,000, you pay 15, 20. That ain't even half. That's way under. So it's 90% of college right there. They're trying to get it paid for. So yeah, and I'll take any student that would want to do that. I would definitely, and it would be me saying something like that and say, listen, if you don't have an opportunity to go to college or something like that, I would definitely say, you don't have an opportunity to go to college from high school and you still want to extend your career for football, then there's an opportunity for you to go to school still, but you're going to have to go in another country. And they do it, you know what I mean? You have some, like in London, you have your university football there. You have university football in Ireland, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Turkey also.
Yep, Turkey. Yep, they have Turkey. So those are places you can go play university football. But if you want to go in Germany, they don't have that. Yeah. But let's think about it. If you're an organization, you could take on that role and bring those kids in and push them to a university. So you have an agreement with the university. We have a guy over here. He's going to be enrolled in school here. But as you being enrolled in school here, you also play for so-and-so team. So it's not connected to the university, but we're going to help you get your education, but you're also going to be here. And that's going to help them out. And if they working to help pay for some of the off cost of college tuition and over there you got to pay for, then it works. It can work. Because they still got to get paid something, because they are still, students. They're still students. You know what I mean? Students actually work. And that's one of the bad things about that. So we're talking student visas. We're talking student visas and opportunity to have a work visa at the same time, because they're working for the organization, but they still need a student visa. So, but no, those are little things in my head that I've seen that has never been tapped into, and I don't know why. They're just not tapped, and it's weird. It's the weirdest thing ever to see that no one's tapping into that source. That's my personal opinion. If it was me and I had opportunity over there, I would be tapping into opportunity, because I know a lot of kids that will never go. They'll never go to college, but they're willing to do whatever it takes to go somewhere because they see that opportunity different. Some guys are like, well, I don't know if I could do that, coach. Well, you'll be going to college anyway. So what's the deal? What's the problem? They're going to take care of you still getting taken care of, just in another country. Get a chance to learn the language so you can look cooler. So it's okay.
I mean, just by them being like, being still teenagers, being young, and even though, like you said before, English is all we have to learn. You're going to hear something that maybe nobody in your family has ever experienced before, and you're getting to do that in your teen years, and that's something maybe you spend like 10 years in Europe or something like this, and you're still able to go back home. You know, it's an opportunity that's like you said is going to be tapped into sooner or later. But the resources in the back end have to be, on point, basically. And
the resource, here's the thing: the resource is already there. That's the funny part. They're already there. The resource is there. It's just about someone actually. You know how it is. That one, it's the pioneer. Whoever that pioneer kid is, he's gonna get it the worst. Or those group of kids, they're gonna get it the worst because it's a trial period, trying to get them through. Then that trial period goes. Now, whoever holds on, all of a sudden it's gonna start catching. They're gonna like, oh man, we got this whole situation coming on over. Yeah. So we got like 10 kids coming over, and they're going here, they're going there, they're going there. Boom. All of a sudden it's like, man, and that one kid is gonna be like, man, It wasn't like that when I was going in, but man, you were the first kid. It's always going to be hard for the first one. The first one that takes the opportunity is either going to be, he's the pioneer. They're going to have a lot of arrows in his back because a lot of stuff just ain't going to make sense to him. And that organization is kind of pushing it through, trying to figure it out. Are the resources there? Resources are there. Student visas are already there. It's the organization. That's where the issue is. The organization has to have a relationship with that university or wherever that school is going to. They gotta have that they have that relationship. So they know when that kid comes over, just like an import comes over, he knows what's going on. If that kid comes over and that relationship ain't there, that kid is like, okay, so I'm over here now. What the
yeah.
You got me over here. Like, what am I supposed to do now? What you're gonna do is you're gonna work for our university, you're gonna work for our organization, but you're gonna go to that school.
Yeah. Absolutely. And also I think at this age, you need someone who tells you that it's the best way you can choose. So back in my days, I would really like to kick my own ass that I never tried to get the opportunity to go to another country to learn, maybe to have a year in high school, or maybe to have 6 months during college. I never did this, and when I look back, I was so dumb to not do this. And
it's not that you were dumb. It just didn't make, it was scary. You're 18, 19 years old, and somebody telling you go to another country and go figure it out. You're like, what the fuck? You crazy? I like where I'm at. My girlfriend down the street. Yeah. Man, I ain't trying to do all that. That's too much. I'm a kid. I don't even know how to cook. You know what I mean? Like, you're thinking of things.
Exactly.
You're thinking as a child. You're thinking as a kid. You're thinking like a teenager still. You're not grown yet. Yeah. But you're getting there, but you're right in that cusp, that period. Because some kids can say, fine, I'll take that. But then other kids are like, nah, man, it's too much of a risk. Like, okay, so now you understand risk and assessment. You're assessing and you're taking, is that a good risk? That's risk management now. You're learning. And it's this process of going through that all the time. And that's what we're doing. But literally, like you said, you're telling a kid, you're not stupid. You just didn't know. And then when it was offered to you, you were like, why would I do that? That's stupid. That makes no sense to me.
Yep. And you need an organization who takes care of everything and can tell, so your mom and your dad, everything's going to be cool, everything is set up, we will take care of everything, and your son or your daughter have the best chance to develop themselves in another country, with another language, with another culture, and for your life experience, it's the way best you can do.
Oh, your life experience is going to go from here.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be like, wow.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, man, where you go to school at? Oh, I go to so-and-so in Germany.
Yeah.
I'm here. No, I go to school over there. I don't even come back to the crib. I basically stay over there most of the time. It's better. Because they just going to feel, why would I come back home? This is, they're literally going to college. That's all it is. You're going to university over here. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
You're just getting people to sponsor you to come over to stay over here so you can play a little ball, and you still get to play ball and still get to have the college experience and still play college football. Similarly, not the same way, but still got to play college football. And you're not going to change teams because you're not. You're staying with that squad because you can't switch. Yeah. Can't be like, oh, man, we want you to come over here. Nah, bro. This is where you stay. It's just like if I went to, it's not like I went to a team that was called the Badgers and I went to University of Wisconsin. No, it's University of Wisconsin Badgers. They come together. So if you go to this team, that team is connected to that school. Yeah. That's it. That's where you're going for the next 4 years, or at least till you finish whatever your university is, whatever that is. So that's where that opportunity lies. Can it happen? Yes. There are people in the United States and there are kids that are willing to take that chance. And if they are over there, they also get the other chance that nobody ever says. And this one, y'all might want to keep this one off the air, and I'll just tell you. Just because of the rules of how everything is set up, the opportunity for an American kid to come overseas. So we'll say technically this guy goes over, right? He says, I'm going to take the opportunity. Boom. He's going to university over there, whatever. Technically, he has a student visa. He can work there. He will get citizenship there. No doubt about it. But he's a citizen. He left the United States because he couldn't play college ball. Do you realize that kid could actually go to the NFL? He has every right to go to the NFL because he never played college football. So he goes not directly to college football and goes up. He goes a different way and comes around. He gets an opportunity. Why? He had to develop himself somewhere else. He gets a chance to do the international combine, and he tears it up. This kid's football knowledge is kind of high. What's up with that? Where does he come from? Well, he came from so-and-so. He went to school over here. Now he's considered military. They'll look at him as a military brat. He had to live his life over here. So he never had a chance to shoot over. He just went over and then came around the opposite way. And you have a chance to get to the NFL. Just as good. Now, think about if you had a kid who knew that he would have a chance. Because he had a better chance from coming from over there to go over than going from this side. Because in the U.S., and you know this, Phil, hundreds and thousands of kids want to go to the NFL. Yeah. What if you went somewhere where there were not that much competition and you could play ball and extend and ball, like literally ball out, and people see you, and that doesn't mean you're going to be that good against that other guy. That means you got a chance. This is giving you a chance in Europe. And then if you get that international combine shot and you get to go over, that's your shot. It is. You got it. You just have to go a different way to get it.
You can make a name real easier because you're not one out of thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Exactly.
You are one every newspaper is interested in. When you are the kid from the United States, you're at college here, you're playing ball here, and you're a real baller, and you're hustling, and you're a nice guy. Everybody is writing some articles about you, and you are on social media. Everybody's following you. You get in contact with all the other Americans here, and that makes you, or you can make a bigger name here in Europe.
Yeah, you can, because it's like, I'll say this to, there are a lot of guys that came over and they left. You know, they retired out. Guys retire out and feel, you know, shit, we played with some of them in the game. They retired. They got tired. Like, I'm tired, because they got tired of the same old. They was like, I'm done. You know what I mean? They not ready, whatever. And they left. The time has finally came with ELF. They finally came up. Finally, it took time, but it took too long. Europe should have had, people forget, India had a professional football league before Europe did, which is crazy. India, they have a professional football league before that. And it all started, everybody didn't realize it, but GFL was professional football. It should have been professional football, but it was just a league. They just made it just for German. I was like, oh, that could have been the league. That could have been it all. Because German football blew up. Most people don't know how GFL became. There was German football, but there was not GFL. Remember, NFL, Europe goes down, GFL emerges. Where do you think they learned all that stuff from? Think about it. There are people in the German football, because look how many German teams were in NFL Europe.
Yeah. There
were people in the background that were from Germany that were in the background. They are the head of GFL. Where you think GFL came from? Where you think all that stuff came from? Where you think GFL came from? It had to have, and then they had a shield and all this stuff. It looks exactly like what? It's a minute of another league. That's all it was. That should have been the professional league, but it didn't. It just didn't become the professional league, which should have been it, because it should have been the new. Should have been the European. Well, now that should have been ELF. What ELF is now, that's what GFL should have been. Should have been, but it's not, because they only focused on German teams. That's it. And I was like, the NFL Europe, exactly. National Football League of Europe. That's all it was. So that means multiple countries are coming in, not just one, multiple countries. And then being what it is now. Now here we are, GFL pissed off. You have the ELF. I'm like this. Why are you pissed off, dude? That's what you should have been. That was your opportunity. Yeah. You see it. You saw only one side of it. I was like, dude, the coin has been there. Europe should have had, everybody else had football leagues before Europe. Europe is the first time, this is their first year ever having last year was, 2020 was the year, or 2021 was basically the year of 2021 season was the year that Europe was going to make it. And if this one didn't make it, would have been bad. It would have been real bad because it would have been like, okay, here we go. Europe starting another league. Let's see what happens. And that's how everybody was looking at it. Well, they started another league. Here we go. What's going to happen? It ain't that, oh, they got all of them. And I was like, yeah, they're trying, but we got to see what happens because they've been through it many times. And everybody's getting tired of hearing about it and start doing something. And Patrick Yusum, he actually put it together, got it done, and got the first one out. Done. Yeah. Much respect for them. I'm glad they got it that way. And hopefully everything keeps going progressively slow, but progressing up and up because they're going to go for other teams and stuff like that. But right now, they got to keep going for it. But GFL pissed off because they're taking all their players, technically or not. But and then what people don't know, and I don't know if you know this, you guys have been watching what's going on here. You remember they had the spring league, right? You heard the spring league, right? The spring league is now, I don't know if they merged yet or not, but I know if it isn't, then that's two leagues over here. But I think they merged the USFL.
Yeah, they're coming back. Yeah,
they're coming back, and so it's already done. They have Fox has given them $150 million off the get to get it started, and that starts as of February. As soon as the Super Bowl is over, USFL football starts. Now, you want to know some game, you want to stay with the trend in the football and how this works. How many D1 players coming over there now? Over to Europe. Yeah, look at the numbers now. The number game has changed. Ain't all these D1 players trying to come over here now. You're getting D1 AA maybe to Division 2, 3, 4 down. You're not getting top players over there no more. Why? It's right here. The league is here. The league is in the U.S. because that is your league to get to the other league that everybody wants to go to.
Yeah.
Ain't that many D1 players coming over now. So now people got to start paying attention. It's the trend of the game. This is the trend. The trend of the game is changing. Yeah. Once that USFL came, I was like, wait a minute, they already put $150 million in. They said they're starting next year. Here we go. It's on. It started. It's over. Because all these D1 players that aren't making, as we said, like that high school kid that's not going to college, that D1 player that's not going to make it to the NFL, where do you think he's going? Straight there. He going right there. He's like, oh, hell no, I'm getting a shot because I got a chance to play high level ball with a whole bunch of players that's trying to do what? Do the same thing. Everybody was like, the NFL doesn't have a feeder system. I said, who told you that lie? NFL had a feeder system for years. You just didn't realize it. I said, Philip, you played in the feeder system. You just didn't know it. The feeder system, NCAA. That's the whole feeder system. The NFL has a feeder system already in place. It's not a European team. It's the NCAA. CFL has a feeder system. It's called the NCAA. That's where all the players come from. They don't come from other places. They come from those places. Canada, they come from those places and Canadian universities. Where you think all these players are coming from? It's a feeder league. So why would I go further down if I came from the feeder league and I didn't make it, I can come down a level, get another shot to make it. It's okay. It's all right. I'm in. I get a chance. So ain't going to be that many D1 players coming over to Europe now. And if the D1 player is counting himself over there, then he has to start thinking, if I go over there, what happens if I go over there, but I could, and then that player, say if that player who was less of a player, but he makes it to that USFL team. Aren't you pissed? Because he's getting paid. He's going to get paid enough money. Maybe not NFL money, but he's going to get paid a significant amount of money versus that player that's over in Europe. Game. It's the trend of the game. It's changing. So all these D1 players that everybody think going over to Europe ain't happening. And Europe changed their standards. One import, 2 imports on the team total. You know what I mean? By doing that, you cut out a whole bunch of Americans. You cut off a shitload of Americans. When it used to be Philip, you remember this one? 3 Americans, 4 Americans on 110. Y'all like, about the ball. You know what I mean? Because you knew all you had to do was get certain players and it was on. Now, 2 Americans on the team. Oh, shit. We need a quarterback. That's one player. You already know we're gone. That's one. You got 1 player left. They're going to get a defensive guy? Most likely, no. They're going to get a running back or they're going to get a running back or a receiver. This is going to pump up down, hit their offense high as they can and teach their D-line as best they can and teach their defense the best they can because we'll put the points up and have defense try to stop us. And if they did do it the right way, they'll go quarterback, linebacker. How you do it? That's what I would do. Quarterback, linebacker. Why? I could train a running back. It's hard to get somebody to lead that defense when you need somebody to be everywhere. Yeah. You know, so. But no, that's it, man. That's just my little spiel on the trend of this football, how football is trend. And now the game is you're starting to see it now. It's starting to change. It's changing and changing more and more. And I'm like, it's a trend. It's happening. And everybody think all these D1 players are going on. I said, no. If I was a D1 player and I had an opportunity, I wouldn't go over to Europe. Why? You go over to Europe to extend your career, not to go there to come back over. That don't make any sense. You're already here. And if I was as a recruiter or anybody looking from an NFL team looking at guys trying to bring them in, I'm like, dude, he went over to Europe. Why the hell did he go over there? Hey, what do you play at? Oh, he playing AFL, GFL? Let's see the game. Let's see what he's doing. Because you want me to spend $1 million on this kid. You only put $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 into this kid. Really? I don't know. Don't make any sense anymore. You're already here. Why would you go? Why would you leave and try to come back?
Yeah.
Stay and fight it out with everybody else. Because everybody else over here, they fighting it out. They go in arena leagues, which that's a quarterback. Arena leagues are for quarterbacks and receivers. Maybe a DB here and there. Linebackers, got a few linebackers coming out of there. But the leagues have changed because those aren't the same arena football leagues from back in the day. Like Barnstormers are still playing and stuff like that. But that's not the same team. That's not the same league anymore. You know what I mean? That's not the league where you go over there and you make $65,000, $70,000 a year because they were putting high-priced players in there. These guys are playing for $500 a game now. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you're losing players from that automatically. Now college players are getting paid. So they're getting paid after their image. So again, the game is changing. And then we got to get used to the fact that this is how things are. And everything's just changing now. We just got to try to find our little niche again and take off with it. But every team is going through it. And especially like I said with France, they have and Turkey too. They ain't played for 2 years. They ain't played no ball. Like, dude, you got to play. And they haven't played anyway. Ain't nobody going to play them. They haven't even played university ball over there. They were shut down just like everybody else. Same thing that happened to France. All those French players were going to Switzerland, Germany. They were going to other places so they can play, so they can get a look. Now they're going back. All these teams that were super strong about to get real weak because those French players were French, Turkey players, the countries that didn't play for years. Or 2 years, and then they got a chance to play. They made those teams stronger. And then people start realizing where's all these players coming from. This team wasn't that good. Man, they got all these French players, or all those Turkish players, or all these players from here. Oh, they did. All right. Now those countries are opening back up. Those players are running back to their teams. Now that team just went from, shit. we all right. We just all right now. You know what I mean? That's it. You guys I know the Minden Wolves are going to be fine, but you got to understand what's going on. The trend is different over here. And now when the trend changes over here, that basically changes how football is looked upon throughout the world. Because everybody want that D1 player. Trust me, they all want them. We always want that good college guy that came from Alabama, Wisconsin, Florida, whatever, any Big Ten school, Pac-10, you know what I'm saying? We want anybody. Oh, you straight from Texas? Oh, you take Texas ball. Yeah, you can come over. Everybody want that. But when that kid ain't coming over no more, where are we getting these guys from? Yeah. Now you got to look down and start saying, dang, who's at that University of Wisconsin, Whitewater? the national champions. Like now you're trying to, bring it down. And those guys like, I'm getting shot. I'm going over here too. I'm going to take my chance over here. You know what I mean? Because I got a shot now. I can get a chance. I can get in. Yeah. And, right now, if I said, Philip, Mr. Gamble, we're going to give you an opportunity to play for the Cleveland Browns. We're going to put you on their practice squad. Would you take that? Would you take that practice squad match? Would you take the practice squad for a year? Yeah, $250,000 a year. And look too fucking bad all of a sudden, right? I would go back and play for $250,000. I'm a vet, so they have to pay me close to a meal. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I'll play on the practice squad for a year, Brad. I'll push y'all the shit out of y'all. I ain't never got to play, coach. I'll be out there in that practice field, giving you everything I got for a whole season. My knees, I'll be in there every day. Knees, oh my God, my back. Boy, please. Yeah. Anybody will just say, yeah, because I played there. Because I actually have an opportunity to play with some of the best players in the world. No matter if it's a winning team, losing team or not. Don't matter. You get an opportunity to pick their brains. And you get to see how it's done. Once you've seen how it's done, you're like, wow, I can mimic this. And go somewhere, I can mimic that. Just go about your business, bro. Like, I can mimic this. And go somewhere and just go ball and have fun. Yeah. So, all right, fellas, I don't want to take too much more of y'all time.
Danny, can you end us out?
Yeah, for sure. I think we can easily,
Nah, that's why, no, because okay, I'll give you this before you end it out. Philip, when he was about to go back home, Philip was like, so coach, man, what you think I should do, Tony? I said, better stay your ass over here. That's how it went down. It wasn't like we make it sound cool. Stay your ass here. You get an opportunity to go here, stay. Do not go back. You ain't gonna find nothing over there. Remember, I told you, I gave that talk to everybody. What is your NFL? And this is my thing. What is your NFL? You want to be famous? Yeah. Well, go over here. You can be famous over here. Yeah. Going home, you fighting. Yeah. Dude, I'm never gonna be T.O. I can't be T.O. I played with the guy. Do I have an NFL status? Yes. Am I at his level? Hell no. Do I work just as hard as him? Yes, I do. But I am not T.O. I will never be him. But then I was like, what's your NFL? I got paid for my craft. I understand it. I have nothing else more to prove. I just enjoy the game. I love coaching and making people better in the game. He was going back over to fight. You already did enough fighting, bro. If they want you here, fight over here and be happy and be Philip Gamble over here with the billboard and taking the commercials and you get what I'm saying? Doing the interviews, being the analyst over here. Yeah. You don't have to do it over there. Be famous somewhere where you can be famous. Be paid for your craft that you enjoy doing versus trying to fight for everybody to get this a little slice when you can be the man come over there. Because again, you doing this now, you guys might be the new analysts, so they come over, they do a German game. We need some guys that, yo, I heard about these guys that was doing like some interviews. Let them do the interviews. They know this stuff. They know how to do it. You know what I mean? Now everything is polished up even more. Boom. Y'all like, yeah, so my name is Philip Gamble. It's my boy over here. We gonna get this, you know what I'm saying? So how we do this, you know what I mean? All of a sudden it's like, oh, they let them do that. And now you guys are the famous analysts because you're doing the interviews and doing that. It's anybody's game, bro. We just got to figure out which one you want to lead. Well, as I told you, stay here. If they give you opportunity of lifetime, trust me, you're going to like it. You stayed over. I think you went home once and then you came back.
I think it was 2 weeks. We were home for 2 weeks.
I told you that. I was like, yeah, you don't go home? He left because you went after the game. Did you go back? You didn't go back. You stayed. Yeah, you stayed. So you went straight to
Germany. NFL.
Yeah, you went straight to Germany. I forgot what team it was, but you went there. And I remember I went home because I had to go back, and then I came back like 2 weeks later. And I remember we had that conversation. I was like, dude, stay over there. Ain't nothing over here, bro. You don't want none of this over here, bro. Stay over there. Everybody's trying to get things. They're trying to keep me here. I'm like, go to school, do what you got to do. Stay over there. Do not come back. Because there's football over here is just, they still figuring stuff out. And it's like, we're trying to get leagues over here and stuff like that, but it wasn't happening at the time. When you left, when you said I ain't going back, and I remember we had that conversation, you went back home and I was overseas. I went back over. You went back home. He said, man, I told you. He said, man, I came back home. I said, you ain't gonna like it for about 2 weeks. You're gonna be out of there. He's like, nah, I think I'll be all right. I'll be all right. 2 weeks later, I'm back on. I said, I told you, it's over. And remember, I told you at some point in time, you're gonna be considered a Euro-American because we like being in Europe. Like, it's better. I like it over here. It's better. And then you get some guys that come over and they hate it. And I'm like, that's fine. But you can understand the guys that are taking the change. They're taking it. They're like, hey, I like it over here. They treat me good. I feel better here. I eat good. They give me an opportunity to let me be who I am versus, when I'm over there back at home, I'm constantly just fighting, just trying to get myself there. Trying to find that one boss that helps you develop into a better guy, But most of the time here, it isn't like that. So that's why a lot of guys stayed over and they're like, I'm not coming back because I get a chance to develop as a human being versus just a player. Over here, we're employees and they make us stay that way and they want to keep us that way. And that's why myself, I would come home for a couple of weeks because of my mom and then I'll leave. Like, yeah, okay, I gotta go. I don't like this. I'm not used to this. And you just get used to the lifestyle. There's nothing. A lot of people thought you were jet setting for a while. He just over there jet setting. He makes this. Like, man, you have no idea what I do over here. Over here, I make my money. I'm happy. Y'all get to see what I teach y'all. Y'all get to see what I see. Y'all think I'm on vacation every day. No, I actually work. Yeah, I like work right across from that. Where I work there. I work across the street from there. So I see that every day. You know what I mean? That's an everyday occurrence to me. It's like when I was walking through Rome and they was like, oh, you get to, I was like, yeah, this is like every day I get to see that. Not a big deal. Oh, you went to the Amalfi Coast. Yeah, it's only 2 hours away from, I can just drive there. It's nothing. You know what I mean? They make it a big deal, but it's not. It's not. It's just what we do and we enjoy doing it. You get to hike mountains of the glaciers and of Germany and the mountains and Austria. And people forget, man, you travel way over there. Dude, it's an hour away. Like, it's like this big jump. I'll say, dude, in the United States, it takes me 4 hours to get out of Illinois. But if I go east or west, I'm going to state. In an hour, I'm in Indiana. Yeah. Other ways, if I go north, I'm an hour, I'm in Wisconsin. You know what I mean? I said, but it's just like going to the States. It's just I'm in a different country and they speak different country. They just speak different languages. Yeah. That's all it is. And they just don't get that. And I'm like, dude, y'all gotta understand. Europe is small. It ain't as big as y'all think. It's small, but it's not that big. They think, oh my God, Germany's so big. Yeah, Germany's huge. Poland's huge too. Austria, small. It's small, whatever. But when you get over there, you realize there's only like 5-6 million people in certain countries, 7, 8, 10 million people in certain countries. Germany, fucking 30, 50, 40, 50 million some people just in the city. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? It's huge over here. Like, yeah. Like when I was living in Russia, I was trying to tell people, like, I lived in Moscow. Oh, how big is Russia? Too fucking big. It's huge. It's double the size of New York. I was like, dude, this is New York times 2. It was, how you have traffic at 3 o'clock in the morning? Yeah. We ain't talking, no, we talking bumper to bumper, nobody moving, you know what I mean? Like, are you serious? People jumping out their cars, walking down to see what the hell is going on, walking back, they car still in the same spot. They move like a quarter of a meter like that. That's it. They going like this, and we walking up and coming back like, dude, there's an accident up there, man. We gonna be here for a minute. I'm trying to get off. Ain't no way to get off, bro. You got people who got off-road vehicles off-roading to get the hell out. What the hell? But it's huge. You know what I mean? You realize some countries are huge, a lot of small countries. But it's cool because you get to speak, like if you're in the North, think of Scandinavia or Nordic countries. If you go from Finland, you drive over from Finland over to Sweden, Sweden over to Norway, Norway down to Denmark. 4 different languages. Yeah. That's a flight, one flight. Yeah. 1 hour flights. And you're in 4 different countries. I'm like, what? It ain't that bad. It's not as big as you think. And each one of those countries is about 6 million tops. Each one, population-wise. Everybody in Helsinki. Where everybody lives in Helsinki in Finland. most of that's where everybody lives, Helsinki. You go to Sweden, everybody's in.
Most of everything is nature.
Yeah, it's mostly nature. It's just natural nature. You go to Norway, nature.
Yeah.
You go to Oslo. You go down to Copenhagen. It's just basically everything's out there. Like you're driving. Like I've driven through all those countries, and it's just nature. Like you're right, it's nature. It's just they have a natural defense mechanism of anything, especially living in Finland. I didn't realize how much like. You don't realize how close Russia is until you realize how close Russia is. Because I went across the border, Finland, and I was like, "Damn, that border close." You know what I mean? Like it's like right there, bro. Like ain't no bridge, no water. It's like, Russia, Finland. I was like, "This, damn, that's
no way."
If they decided to just ass over everybody, y'all got. They said, "Yeah," but by the time they get to where we are. It's that natural defense of the forest and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, it kind of all right, but boys, they start acting a fool over there, boy. I'm like, boy, y'all right there. They right on Europe. I'm like this. And literally they are. They're literally on Europe quick. Like Ukraine, they're right there. It's right on the border. I'm like, they're right there. It's too close. And they's like, nah. It's like if you ever played the game, what is it? Strategic. When you got all the guys and everybody picks Austria. They said, why? It's the farthest place to get to. That you can win the entire war just by being in Australia. Australia is where you want to be when you play games like that. Why? Because it's the farthest defense and it takes time to get across. And they can fire everything out at you. And it was like, really? I said, bro, it's strategy, bro. It's a strategy game. You being up on somebody so quick. You in Italy, you fighting France. They right there. They're right there. They can just come in and take over. Come in and take a little piece of you out and then start slowly breaking you down. I love games like that.
I think that brings us back what you said before, that it's more important to develop yourself. And when you have the chance to get out of your box and out of your comfort zone, take the chance. I think that's the advice for the youth. When you have the chance, go and explore yourself, get in contact with other people, go to other countries, and just develop the world if you have the chance. So, Tony, thank you very, very much. I think that we have enough stuff for 2 episodes. That's really, really cool. That's really, really cool. So we can do part 1 and part 2. So
do what I got to do with it, man. Just make sure I get a chance to get it. I'll post it on my Instagram, whatever, Facebook, whatever I got now. I don't even know what I got anymore.
It was really, really interesting and a pleasure for me. So yes, again, thank you very much.
I appreciate y'all bringing me into that. It was kind of cool. I like when he called me. He was like, "Yeah, you got on." I was like, "Yeah, I guess." Well, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, well, "What's going on?"
But again, thank you for taking the time out. When you're in Warsaw, reach out to us, and we're trying to plan a trip over there also, just to chill in Poland for a little bit, maybe a weekend or something like that. But to catch up with you. It's been almost 10 years for me now since I've seen you last.
Yeah, look, see how long? Look how much time passed.
It was for good reasons, good cause. Like I said, I thank you for that conversation that we had at the time, and like I said, we're at the situation now where that conversation kind of led me into where I'm at now also. So, like I said, again, I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to the next time we get together.
All right, guys, have a good evening for you guys, and for me, it's a good afternoon right now. All right, fellas.
An unsere Zuschauer, vielen, vielen Dank, dass ihr dabei wart bei einer weiteren Folge von Four Quarter Story of Football mit Tony Simmons. Es hat sehr, sehr viel Spaß gemacht. Es war unglaublich cool, es war sehr, sehr interessant und damit haben wir 2 super Episoden gefüllt, die, glaube ich, gerade nicht nur den Football abgedeckt haben, und das ist ja das, worum es geht, um die 4 Stationen im American Football, und gerade diese 4. Station war bei uns heute unglaublich groß und ich glaube unglaublich interessant, nicht nur im Rahmen von Football, sondern auch im Rahmen einfach, die Welt entdecken, etwas Neues entdecken. Und wir freuen uns, dass ihr dabei wart, und bis zum nächsten Mal bei Four Quarter Story of Football.
All right.
Ciao.
Ciao.